Working with ready-made mixed media papers is a fantastic starting point, but sometimes you just want to be able to customise them further. I'm going to show you how to combine design elements from different papers together by using the clone stamp and layer masks. The first thing that I've done is combine two different papers together. I've placed one paper above the other. I desaturated the paper and adjusted the blend mode to darken. This brings out the doily shape at the top here. What I need to do, or what I want to do next, is to hide this butterfly and this strip here of art marks that I feel is detracting from my design and the flow of the page. To do that, I have duplicated my papers just in case I want to go back and change my mind or make any changes, and so that I don't lose my finished paper design. So I've duplicated those, so I'm just going to hide that for now. Here's my duplicated paper. It needs to be on one layer because what we're going to do now is use our clone stamp, and we're basically going to choose an area of our finished paper to clone and stamp it on top of the butterfly to hide it or to remove it. So I'm going to bring in a new layer above my finished paper, which I'll use for my stamping. But first, I'm going to select my finished paper design that I'm going to clone a part of. I'm going to choose the clone stamp tool, and I've got a soft brush selected. I'm going to choose an area of my background paper. I'll choose an area down here that has some nice creamy texture and some text fragments. Depending if you're on a Windows or a Mac, you'll use your Alt or your Option key. You'll notice your cursor change, and you literally just need to click to clone that area of the background. And as you can see now, it's stolen, it's cloned the texture from the layer that was selected, and I'm going to swap to my new layer. I'm going to hover above my butterfly and I'm going to click, and that will stamp on top of it. Now I'm going to choose a brighter area of the paper to clone. So I'm going to go back to my finished paper, make sure the clone tool stamp is selected, hover the area of the paper that I want to clone. I'll try this corner up here, hold down Alt or Option, click to clone, go back to your additional layer, hover where you want to apply your new texture, and either stamp or you can apply it in a circular motion. And there we go, that's hidden that part of the design. I'm quickly going to show you now how you can use a layer mask to further customise your background. I've chosen from the mixed media pack an edgy overlay, which gives these lovely dark text fragments at the top and these art marks and text fragments at the bottom. If I show you how the edge looked originally, it's just too harsh to follow along the right hand side of my design here. So if you select a layer mask, which is this little sort of TV icon at the bottom here, it will allow you to hide part of your image, but then if you change your mind, you can bring them back at any time by painting them back in. So it's a really useful, non-destructive way to make changes. So if I enable my mask, you need to have your foreground and background colours set to black and white, and then you'll need to choose from the brush menu. Again, I've got a soft round brush, and if I have white as my foreground colour, you can see that you can simply drag that over and paint areas back in. And if I change that to black and drag over the same area, it paints them, erases them back out again. And there we have it. Now, one final touch, I'm going to show you how to use your clone tool to create elements from a finished background paper. So I'm happy with this final design. I'm going to merge the added texture that I added from the top using the clone tool to my background design. Now, I duplicated the papers earlier, and I'm just going to borrow those because I actually want to bring this butterfly and use it to further embellish around my cluster. So I'm going to make my brush a little larger. I'm going to go back and select the clone stamp tool. And now, rather than cloning some texture and hiding the butterfly, I'm going to clone the butterfly and stamp it around my cluster to further enhance my design. So again, Alt or Option key to clone, stamp over an area that you may want, and then can you see I'm going to take the butterfly with me. So I'm just going to create a new layer. I'm going to stamp the butterfly here, and then I can use my regular transform tools as if it were a regular element and reposition it. And then I can simply duplicate that layer, and I'm going to turn the butterfly around. I'm going to make it a little bit smaller, and I'm going to position a second butterfly down here. There we go. I'm going to move that one over. Just go to my move tool. Now, I grabbed some additional texture that I don't really like, so again I'm going to use a layer mask. I'm going to have the foreground set as black. I'm going to choose a soft round brush, and I'm gently going to erase around the edges, take the unwanted texture away and tidy it up. And then I'm going to re-hide that paper that had the butterfly here. So now I've got my adapted background using the clone stamp to hide the butterfly. I've used the clone stamp to actually take pieces out and reuse them elsewhere. I hope you enjoyed the tips and that you find them useful to create your own backgrounds. After recording the video, I realised that the crop of the video had actually taken away the little toolbar here at the bottom of the layers palette. So I just wanted to show you again where the layer mask option is. This is the little TV icon that I was talking about here. It's in between the fill or adjustment layer and the effects, the add layer style box, and it's a little rectangle with a circle in it. It looks like a little TV, so that's where the layer mask option is. And again, don't be afraid about making changes or continuing on with customizing. After I finished the video, I was actually a little bit unhappy with this little area of cloning here. Because this piece here that I cloned has got like some branch or rectangular type shapes, which transferred over to here when I stamped them, and again I felt like it was detracting. So I'm just going to turn that layer back on now to show you a more unified look. I took some more clones of areas down the bottom here with the text fragments, which you can see here. And I took a clone of this area over here, which has more just of a creamier white texture. And then I actually took a final clone of this small piece of the doily and stamped it over this side because I kind of lost that continuation of the doily shape. So now I am happy with my finished design, and again I just wanted to show you the layer mask option down here, so I didn't want you to get lost. I hope you find the tips helpful, and I'll see you again soon.